Hello everybody and welcome back to Chaoko Draws. This is the part 2 of the Heroes of Excavation drawing that I did for, if you saw the last video then you know what this is, and if not then why aren't you watching the first video? Here, I guess I'll put up an annotation around here-ish so you can go back and watch it. I guess if you want to, I don't care. I don't know why you just watched that one, not watch that one and what good this was, I don't know. Anyway, in the last one, I talked about the life system and how in the first, or that level specifically, I gave you too many chances to get lives, which is kind of true because, there's a life system now, and you get that by collecting foods and vegetables and stuff, and which I'll later explain as I mentioned before. But in that level, there was actually a lot of chances to get a lot of lives, but that doesn't mean that it's completely easy to get that many lives. So, like, the reason why you can get so many lives is because there's a new item in the game called mystery barrels, which allow you to, like, when they break them, they give you a random, like, food of sorts. So like, you can either get, like, the weakest, or the best, or the one that reduces your belly meter, or your belly points, or stuff like that. But most of the time, for some reason, I guess I'm just really lucky, I get like I get a life, or like 3 lives. You can get a maximum of like 4 just straight up lives in that level, without even having to like collect everything, or collect all the little extra food stuff flying around. Wow, my voice cracked there. And I guess like the whole reason for that was like, I mean, it's basically just it's like it's part of a puzzle, like a small little, like, you can get some extra stuff if you do this, but if you do this wrong, then you messed up. But I didn't really think about the fact that even if you didn't get those extra things, then you're not really that too, like, far off from being set. So, yeah, that's just the thing. You get a lot of lives. You could get a lot of lives in that, or not. You can totally just get one. Depends. But the next boss may require you to use a couple lives. I still think on paper it seems easy, but in actual gameplay it might be hard. Like, basically the first boss is Jack Rabbit. And I just want to just point this out as much as I can. Did you notice the E in what I said there? Yes. Did Husky? Yes. The part with the E? Yeah, that's intentional. All the names are meant to be misspelled. Most of them with an E. Or, yeah, last names at least. That's how it just works. It's like Winnie the Pooh. Except, not Winnie the Pooh at all. But, yeah, that's amazing. I just wanted to point it out real quick. But yeah, your first boss is Jack Rabbit, and in the first game he was incredibly easy, and I think I had a friend who got to him once. Like, amazing that someone got past that first level other than me. And he was like, "This boss is really hard for a first boss. Why do you even make it like this?" I'm just like, it wasn't that hard. All he did was drop items on you from, like, while he was slowly scrolling left to right, and you just have to hit one thing. You had to hit it pretty quickly, but it was still nonetheless very not that hard to do, like, at all. In fact, well, yeah, in the new game it's more elaborate. Like, even though it's pretty much the same concept, it's just more better other words that are positive, well done, and such like that. So you, like, I'm not going to explain it to you because I want people to actually experience it, or just get the strategy down, like, when you play it. But it's pretty much the same concept, except it's got a few new things and got a few, like, normal boss stuff. It's a pretty simple first boss, but I feel like when I actually design it, it's gonna be pretty hard. Like, I'm not sure whether or not in the first game he only took 5 hits or 3 hits. Depending on how hard the boss is, I'll decide to reduce it or not, because in this one he takes 5 hits. 2 feet. I think it was 5 hits in the original Dig It Husky. Yeah, I think it was 5 hits. But Actually, that's what most of the first bosses were, and then you got to Ruma, who was 7 hits. And then after that... after Ruma, it was... Who was after Ruma? Oh yeah, it was the bird dude. I don't remember his name. I don't remember the name of my characters. Whoops. Good job, me. But yeah, I've only been focusing on the beginning of the game for, like, at the moment. I know how the game works, but I mean, come on. Gotta get this first part down. But so that one took like 3 hits. No, it took 4 hits technically. Or maybe it was 3. 4, could have been 5. No, it was 4. It was like 4 or 3. So the first boss after that would be 4 or 3. And after that, it went to 2. And after that, it went to... Yeah, I don't actually remember. Actually, after that, it wasn't even really a boss. And then it also wasn't even really a boss. It was like a music thing. And then, it was... Let's see. Oh yeah. It actually was a boss. I think that one was also... No, that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So that was like 8 hits, I think, that were required. And then the final boss took 6 hits. Huh. You know, I wasn't very consistent with this. Like, in the new game, the maximum amount of, like, life, at the moment, I might actually double it up later, is 9 hits. That's a normal amount for a boss. And, or like, that's the maximum amount for a boss. The normal amount would be like 5, I guess, because everything else has 5. And there are some... That's a lot of hits, though, when I think about it. It's like, yeah, sure, Diggy needs a lot of hits, but I don't think the bosses need that many hits, that I think about it. I don't know, it'll all work. It depends on the boss, really. Because I want to make some bosses seem powerful, but there are bosses, you know, just don't have to be that powerful, you know? Just don't know. Because there are new bosses in the game. Like, in the original game, there was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... There was 8 bosses in it. 8 different bosses at least. And there wasn't... That's not that much of a variety now that I think about it. Like, yeah, there was supposed to be like way more, to be honest. And like some of those are gonna be like kind of like entering in the new game. There's actually an enemy that didn't appear, which is called a Munchcat, which I've shown in a sketch, which was a voting incentive for Cheetah Kid at one point. But yeah. There's new enemies called Munchcats in the game. And basically, like, oh, I can't really describe what they are. They're basically like throwing enemies. They like throw stuff at you. But yeah, that's like one of the like, it's a thing in the game. It's a thing. You guys will see. But there's a boss based around it. And that was actually one of the bosses that was just straight up new. Like, it wasn't one of the bosses that I had in mind for the original game. But yeah. So, yeah. Also, something I wanted to just point out that I didn't realize before was that, fun fact everybody, Diggy Husky actually was a treasure hunter, like, in the original games. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but in the original games, I just remember this, like, right now or the other day. I don't actually remember when I remember this. But, like, in the very original game, like, before the Sploder one, Diggy was supposed to be a treasure hunter, and that's what he dug. And, like, so, in other words, he was even more like Shovel Knight than, like, he is now. Because Diggy Husky is completely different from what he was in the original game, slightly. I'm not actually, I think the, hard hat wasn't, he didn't even have the hard hat for most of the first game. I put it on him, like, eventually, because I was like, well, he can't just be a Husky, he needs some kind of, like, gimmick to him. So I gave him a hard hat. And that whole, like, concept of him having a hard hat led into the main concept of, like, surprisingly, the story came from me making Exploder, because that's when I was like, alright, I can't just make it, like, hunting for treasure and stuff, because, you know, the engine problem, so, yeah. All those new problems and stuff, and not new problems, all those new features and stuff, so I was like, well, I gotta work with what I got, and then I made a different story, and I was like, this works. Then I realized I couldn't make story with this freaking engine, so I was like, damn it. And then I was like, I'm gonna remake this someday. But then Threadbound came and I was like, yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, and that was a whole year of work that I stopped. And then, well, I mean, I'll pick it up eventually. Eventually, if I ever get to see, maybe, probably not, maybe. Not at all. Probably, maybe, I don't know. It depends on what I do. I'll probably end up forgetting about it, which is sad, because I really liked it. But, anyway, yeah, that's what the original concept was about. Now it's not about that. It's about a construction worker, Diggy, yeah, if you guys didn't guess that, who learns that his boss is trying to make his, like the world, or his little land. I'm not sure what it is still. I'm not sure if it's just an island or the entire world, but for now I'm just gonna say island, into like an industrialized like living area, and so he goes out to stop him from doing that. But and yeah, that's the basic concept of what Data Husky is, and it's a very eco-friendly game. Like that game, like the game is super eco-friendly. I think the original one was like that too. And I guess back then I was kind of like that's when I was just learning about like political correctness and moral correctness and the earth. So I was like, yeah, I want to stick to the man. Go give him all eco-friendly and stuff. And then I realized, oh yeah, it's not. I mean, yeah, it's important, but you shouldn't rub it in people's faces. Yeah, basically I got better at writing, but yeah, it's still kind of preachy a little bit. Kind of. There's a little bit more to it. Like, I remember it was written to be darker. Wow, is my mic peaking? My mic is like really going out with my voice. I can't tell. But I'll see when recording. I swear to God, if this messes up. Anyway, so yeah, the story was meant to be a little bit more complicated and more dark, like as I grew up. But then, as I might have mentioned this before, I canceled Data Husky 3 because it was like too sad. Like the first game, it has a pretty and I'm keeping this moral in. It has a pretty oh, this is what's going. Did I do this correct? Did I win? But it was always meant to have like a deeper meaning to the story. But a little while ago, it used to be super dark. It's kind of it was in my dark era of writing, along with the Cheetah Kid Generation 2 thing that I've mentioned many times. And so the third game, it wasn't anything political correctness or anything like that. It was just sad. It was just unnecessary for being there. It was a Diggy Husky game. It's not supposed to be that sad. A little bit emotion every now and then, but the game that got really sad. I could if I cried Cheetah Kid, it makes sense. That's supposed to happen. If I cried Diggy the Husky, that's not supposed to happen. That's not a thing that's supposed to happen. And yeah, that's usually how I dictate if I can make other people emotional about something. If I end up making myself cry, then I feel like someone else will have the same feeling about it. And when I cried at that, after rereading the ending to the third game, stuff like that, I was like, no. But yeah, I just got rid of it completely. But yeah, there's gonna be multiple Data Husky games. I think I'm having a little problem with the title of this game, to be honest. Because how the whole Husky thing is in the name. I feel like I should change that. I'm not gonna change Diggy's name because his name is still Diggy Husky. Or just I'm pointing at the E there because otherwise it still sounds like Husky. It still his last name still has the E in it, but for a marketing standpoint or just getting new people to it, I don't want people to think I'm illiterate. So I might change it to where his name is just the title is just Diggy the Husky, normally spelt, but in the game his name is Diggy Husky. Yeah. So yeah, it's a whole complicated thing that'll work out later. Or if I just wanted to give it a secondary title Unearthed or something like that. But anyway, that's all that I have for this episode. Sorry for changing the tone super quick. If you like this, then you can go watch the playlist or whatever. And I don't care about you comment, subscribing because, I'm not a YouTuber, as I always say. And I don't care. You watched it, good job. I hope you enjoyed it if you got this far. Otherwise, I don't know why you kept watching it. Anyway, I'll see you later. Oh, it's probably for the drawing, to be honest. Anyway, see you later. Bye.